Today we're going to talk about solving linear equations. Please make sure that you take out a piece of loose leaf paper and a pen if you chose not to print these out. When we're solving a linear equation, the first thing that we always want to do is to distribute to get rid of parentheses. Make sure if there is a negative in front of the parentheses, you are distributing a -1. If there are multiple parentheses, please make sure you work from the innermost set first. Then you're going to combine like terms on each side of the equal sign. Then use addition and subtraction to move all variables to one side of the equal sign, numbers to the other. And finally, we're going to divide to get the variable by itself. So let's look at our first example. It says 2x plus 1 plus 4x minus 3. The first thing I would recommend is put a 1 in front of that set of parentheses. Then we're going to take this and we're going to distribute it here and here. In this other parentheses over in the beginning, there's also a 1 that we are going to distribute. So this becomes 2x plus 1 plus 1 times 4x is 4x. 1 times negative 3x is negative 3x equals 10. Now we're going to solve the equation by combining like terms. So if I look on the left, there is an x here, here, and here. So in the calculator, 2 plus 4 is 6, minus 3 is 3. So I have 3x. Copy down the rest of your problem. Plus 1 equals 10. And that 1 came from over here. Next, we're going to use addition or subtraction to make all the letters on one side and the numbers on the other. So I'm going to minus 1, minus 1. 3x equals 9. And finally, I'm going to divide each side by the number in front of the x. Here it cancels. And in my calculator or in my head, 9 divided by 3 is 3. So for this one, my answer is 3. If I look at the next example, first thing I want to do is look in front of the parentheses. There's a 1 in front of the first set. So when I distribute my 1, basically that means I end up with 3a plus 7. If I look at the second set of parentheses, there's a -1 in front. So I'm going to take the sign with that. -1 times a is -1a, and -1 times -1 is +1. Copy down the rest of the problem. Now I'm going to combine like terms. 3a minus 1a, or 3 apples minus 1 apple, is 2 apples. If I look at the next, the numbers, 7 plus 1 is 8. Copy down the rest of the problem. Now I want to use addition or subtraction. I'm going to move the 8 over. I end up with 2a equals 6. If I divide both sides by 2, I end up with a equals 3, and that is my answer. For the next example, again, the first thing I want to do is get rid of my parentheses. So I'm going to look at the term in front of the parentheses, and I'm going to distribute it. So 4x times x is 4x squared. Remember, we add exponents. 4x times 2 is 8x. If I look at my second set of parentheses, here I have a -x in front. So -x times 3 is -3x. -x times +4x is -4x squared. And then on the right side, I have 2x plus 18. Now, if I combine like terms, on the left side, I have 4x squared minus 4x squared. Those disappear. Then I have 8x minus 3x. That gives me 5x equals, and if I look on the right side, I have 2x plus 18. Again, my goal is to get the numbers to one side and the plane and the letters to the other. So I'm going to minus 2x, minus 2x. I end up with 3x equals 18, because those cancel. Then if I go through and I divide both sides by 3, I do end up with x equals 6. Last one. If I look at these questions, hopefully you realize when you see this little squared, that really means 2. So this is really x plus 3 times x plus 3. Again, on the right side, I have a little squared, so that means x minus 5 times x minus 5. To multiply two binomial terms, a lot of you like the box method. So if we make a box here and a box here, and I write an x a plus 3, an x a plus 3, this I get x squared plus 3x plus 3x plus 9. Over here, if I multiply by using the box method, I get x squared minus 5x minus 5x plus 25. If I finish multiplying on the left, I end up with x squared plus 6x, that's because I can add these two together, plus 9, equals, on the right side, x squared. Again, I can combine my x terms, so minus 10x plus 25. Again, I want to try and get my letters on one side and my numbers on the other. The first thing I would recommend, let's subtract x squared. Those happen to cancel. So now I have 6x plus 9 equals negative 10x plus 25. Make sure that you copy that sign down. Now I'm going to add 10x to each side. So I end up with 16x plus 9 equals 25. Now I want to move my numbers to the opposite side. So I'm going to minus 9 from both sides. That means I am left with, hang on one second, 16x equals 25 minus 9 is 16. I divide by the number in front of the x, so I'm going to divide both sides by 16. And in this case, I get x equals 1, and that is my answer. Please make sure you write down any questions and either email me or ask me next time you see me in class.